They threw a wild party in Alabama. Then they kicked it up a notch in Georgia. Now the young stars of the RC Cola Moonpie ASA Southeast Asphalt Tour make their first ever Florida foray. Short track racing from the Sunshine State. And it starts right now. And welcome to one of the biggest short tracks anywhere, the USA International Speedway in Lakeland, Florida for the RC Cola Moonpie ASA Southeast Asphalt Tour. Today it's the RC Cola Moonpie 125. Hello again, everyone. I'm Rick Benjamin. Scott Sutherland alongside, and our good friend Dave Argerbright will have the coverage today down on pit road. Scott, the biggest and fastest place will go for some time this year.
And for a lot of these young drivers, they've come from short tracks, typical short tracks, 3/8 mile, 4/10. We're on a 3/4 mile racetrack. It's going to be a big change for them.
Well, the winner of the Fast Qualifier Award, young Jeff Choquette, who's a Florida invader. He's with Dave.
Moments away from the start, our fast time qualifier, Jeff Choquette. Everybody's going to watch you. What can you do from 5th place here?
You know, we'll really see how it goes. It's 125 laps, a long ways for, you know, our late models here. So let it pan out, and, you know, we'll just really see how it goes. Hopefully we can bide our time, have good self-discipline, and be there at the end.
Is it difficult to pace yourself there in the early going?
You know, it really is because, you know, everybody, you know, with the good car we had all weekend, you know, you just got to have good discipline and sit there and tell yourself, keep riding, keep riding, and just, because you got to save your stuff till the end, because you can't win it on lap 124, you got to win it on 125.
We'll be watching fast time qualifier Jeff Choquette.
Jeff Choquette owns this place. The last few times these late models have run here, he holds the keys.
Well, Michael Pope is the current points leader in the RC Cola Moonpie ASA Southeast Asphalt Tour. He'll saddle up that number 44 machine. After 2 races, Pope has a 23-point lead over Preston Peltier. He's from North Carolina. Scotty Ellis, Jay Middleton will be a contender, and Taylor Satterfield the rest of the top 5 in the championship standings. Now, this is early in the summer here in South Florida, Central Florida actually, but pretty warm night.
75 degrees is really a nice night for here. It's going to cool down just a little bit. Track still has a lot of grip later on in the years when this place gets a little bit slipperier.
3/4 of a mile, modest banking in the corners, 14 degrees, but very high speeds on the straightaways.
Well, it's really fast on the straightaway, but going into the 14-degree banking, what happens is you can go in good, pick that banking up. It dumps you off, coming off the corners, off turn 2, off turn 4. Watch these guys have a little bit of problem making that transition right next to the wall.
Field getting the signal to fire them up and pull away for the first of a couple of pace laps tonight here at USA International Speedway in Lakeland, Florida. 37 cars will take the green. Let's take a look at our starting lineup. Top 5 are inverted. John Boland is on the pole in the 2 car. Young Travis Cope, Mike's son, in that 26 on the outside. Second row, Tim Russell. He's another Floridian, and Michael Pope, the points leader. Third row, we met Jeff Choquette earlier. He's the fast qualifier. There's Preston Peltier from North Carolina in that 5 machine. And then you've got another famous Florida stock car named Daniel Keene Jr. in the 4th row.
On the outside of him is Paul Kelly, guy from Georgia, has a lot of laps, but first time here at Lakeland as well.
And back we go another row. Jason Hogan, who's one of the prime championship contenders this year. Jeremy Colangelo making his first series start in that 05C. He will line up in 10th position. Rest of the field, Stephen McCurley from Texas. There's Kyle Fowler and a host of other drivers we're getting familiar with, Garcia and Fontaine in the 8th row.
Well, I look at Middleton's in the 14 slot. Remember that race at Cordillo? He was really a dominant race car, and we expected him to do the same. Maybe he can come, but 14 spots quite a ways back.
All the way back in 27th, Jessica Murphy, the first woman to take a green flag in the RC Cola Moonpie ASA Southeast Asphalt Tour. Gene Carilla, 1 row back in 29th. He's a 15-year-old out of Pennsylvania. And there's Tyler Millwood and Sean Bass. They're series regulars all the way back in the 17th row.
A lot of competition. It's going to be deep through the field, and I noticed, and even in qualifying, the times are very tight. So you can have a great race car, but you might be back in that 20th spot.
A couple of different onboard looks tonight. John Boland in the Boland Excavating 2 car. He starts on the pole. He'll have our onboard cameras riding along tonight. And back outside row number 3, we'll have a couple of looks from Preston Peltier's Chevrolet. He won the season opener. He is from North Carolina. Dave Argerbright has our coverage on pit road. Dave, the status of some of these drivers as rookies might be key.
Guys, one of the big factors tonight is going to be inexperience. Fully 3/4 of this field here have not only not been to this racetrack before, they've never been on any racetrack of this size with this kind of speed. So we've got a lot of young drivers being thrown into the deep end of the pool. Now we're going to see who can handle it and who can't.
The official pace car, that beautiful Pontiac, heads for pit road, ready to go green at USA. Glad to have you with us. We are underway in Florida. Side by side onto the backstretch. Travis Cope on the high side in that Ford, that black machine. He and John Boland door to door in turn 3.
Air pressure still low on these cars. They got to set it low to get going. Hey, what about the run on the outside for Travis Cope?
On board with Boland, Cope moves that Grubbs Ford to the bottom of the racetrack. Well, actually, the middle, he's a little loose off too, but he does complete the pass and take over the top spot. And Travis Cope starting to pull away here. Now a battle for position a little further back. Colangelo and Paul Kelly in the 23. They fight for a spot just outside the top 10.
Starting to sort this thing out, get single file. I think these guys want to get into a groove where they can just make it through the corners. That we have a different engine and weight combination for what's going on. You're going to see some guys go really fast through the corners, some faster down the straightaways. And it's going to see who can manage that towards the end of the race.
Travis Cope with a 2-car length advantage over John Boland. Tim Russell, who's another Floridian now, he's got his eyes set on second in that white 36, trying to size up the 2-car as they move into turn 3.
We've already talked about it at the beginning of the race. It's going to come down to experience. A lot of these guys have never been at a racetrack like this. Travis Cope's got a lot of laps around Lakeland.
Enterprise running order, top of your screen. Cope and Boland, the first 2. Russell and Jeff Choquette, the fast qualifier. That's that other black machine. He's moved into 4th spot now. Michael Pope, the series point leader, all the way back in 7th in front of Jason Hogan. Travis Cope putting down some very quick laps here in the early going.
You can tell these guys are just settling in, just getting a good rhythm with their race car, trying to find a groove that they can work the best in. You notice the 2-car just a little bit higher line, but he makes a good run off the corner.
A little further back, that's Jay Middleton in the 74, the Redneck Pepper machine. Now he, of course, one of the prime contenders for the championship. The race leader's dad, Mike, is his crew chief. A little further back, fighting for 11th, Colangelo in the 05. Jeff Schofield on the high side in that 07 car. And looks like Colangelo on the bottom is going to make the pass. We'll see if Schofield can come back at him there.
Good hard racing right through the middle of the corner. You can see that the 07 car was a little bit quicker in the middle of the corner, not so much down the straightaway.
Oh, and on the backstretch on lap 13, our first caution of the night comes out. Sean Bass running into difficulties in one of the Mopars in the field. That's the 28 machine, the Rinaldi's car. He is from Orlando, a local hero here, but Bass with problems early. It brings out our first yellow flag of the night in the RC Cola Moonpie ASA Southeast Asphalt Tour. Travis Cope is our leader under caution. Extra distance tonight, 125 laps. Boland, Russell, Jeff Choquette, Preston Peltier, the rest of the top 5. Our coverage being brought to you by RC Cola. Do your own taste test. Find out why RC Cola is a taste sensation. And by Moonpie, the original marshmallow sandwich. By the first ever Pontiac G8. Build your own at Pontiac.com/G8. And by Hedman Hustler Headers, the official headers of the ASA Southeast Asphalt Tour.